Welcome to another episode of the Meal Prep Monday podcast. I'm your host and founder of Prep Dish, Allison Schaaf. In today's episode, I'm doing a personal update on all things farm related. I don't know if farm's the right term, but goats, chickens, bees, food forest, all of those things. So if you are interested in hearing an update, stay tuned. Before I dive into the content though, I have an email from Prep Dish subscriber Mary Beth. Mary Beth writes, "We've been on a journey to clean up our eating. With the help of Prep Dish, we've managed to do so. And I've experienced a 13-pound weight loss without dieting. Thank you, Prep Dish." Mary Beth, thank you so much for sharing. And while I don't guarantee any sort of weight loss promise with Prep Dish, we certainly do hear from subscribers that when they incorporate our meal plans into their life, they see health benefits, whether that's energy, more focus, weight loss, any of these things. When you're making your meals at home, when you're paying closer attention to ingredients and what you're feeding yourself and your family, it can make a huge difference in your health. And of course, we're always focused on providing recipes that are tasty and enjoyable to eat. If you would like to try out our meal plans and our meals, head to prepdish.com/MPM, short for Meal Prep Monday. We have a 2-week free trial. It's the best way to see if it's a fit. Try us out for 14 days. See how you like it. See if you notice any difference. Okay, so for today's episode, just a little personal update on what's going on. You know, we're not a farm. I don't know if we're quite a homestead, but we're in that direction, right? Like it's definitely a hobby. And my husband and I joke that if we had to rely solely on, on our own work here to survive, it would be tough, right? But we have had fun here. Gosh, I think we've been living here 7 or 8 years now. We've had chickens that whole time. So I feel like we've really, we always run into issues, but we've had a lot of fun with that and kind of figured out a lot of what works and what doesn't work. The latest update with the chickens is we have added on, we received a lot of babies. We did another order there's a place called McMurray's that will send them in the mail. And it's nice if you want to try out different breeds. Like if you can just pick them up, but we have a local Tractor and Supply where we can get baby chicks and we will do that. Ideally, we will just let our own chickens, hatch their eggs and have their own babies. That is the ideal situation because then the mama hens will take care of the babies and that's a lot easier, a lot less work on us. But right now we are without a rooster, so we are unable to have baby chicks of our own. So we did a huge order of, I think 27. Unfortunately, in the first few days, we lost a lot and we're not sure what happened, but we got guinea hens this time, which is really exciting for me. I have always wanted to try guinea hens. I hear good and bad. They're definitely loud. We'll see. I think it'd be appropriate if they start squawking in the middle of this episode, but right now they're being quiet. They're supposed to be really good with snakes, although even our other chickens I have seen with snakes in their mouths. We don't get scorpions when our chickens are free ranging. So they help with a lot of the pest management for sure. But excited. The guinea hens are those black ones with like weird, awkward bodies and white dots on them. I've just always thought they were hilarious and really excited to have those added to the flock. So that's the chicken update. The bee update, I don't have a lot to add on the bees. My husband really is in charge of them. He's now getting into the routine of doing 2 harvests a year. And we did a spring harvest this year and we're able to get quite a bit of honey, which is nice. The honey's so nice to have around. It works great to give out as gifts or to have out when we have company. It's really delicious and it's fun how each harvest tastes so different, right? Like they always taste a little different based on a lot of different factors, including, the bee's diet or just different things going on in the environment. But those have been a lot of fun to have just for the honey and the experience. It's really a cool activity, really a day-long activity of doing the harvest because, all the equipment comes out and Ivan and Seven are really able to help participate in that and play a big role in all the different parts of doing that harvest. So it's a really fun family activity. And we did do an episode on the bees. I have no idea the episode number. I will look it up and put it in the show notes if you want to hear more about bees. Another update. So goats, we still have the goats. Still not successful with milking the goats, but By the time this airs, maybe I will have had some success. We have a new mom that was one of the daughters of a previous mom who is just impossible to milk. And hopefully, I'm working on some strategies to get her comfortable to where I can milk her. It seems to be headed in the right direction. So, again, hopefully, by the time this is airing, I will be milking her. I would really love to be getting some milk from the goats. They're really funny. I enjoy having them. They scream at us a lot when they're hungry. So they're they can be a pain, but they're really fun as well. It'd just be nice to be getting that milk. So that's update with the goats. And then the food forest. So this is like this enclosure with the really high fence to keep the deer out. And the idea is that all of the plants sort of build off of each other and create this harmonious environment. And we have some fruit trees that we started. It'll still be at least 5 years before they produce. And a lot of the things in there, they're not yet, we haven't been eating much out of there just yet, but everything's doing well. I can tell that we're probably going to have strawberries. I think some of the things we will be harvesting, this is going to air. I'm recording this in May. I think by the time this airs in July, we will be harvesting some of those items as long as it continues to look good. Side note though, so we have a compost pile, actually a few compost piles that we always just go and like throw all of our scraps into. And there's always things that are sprouting out of the compost piles. And I'm always wanting to like grow some vegetable, whatever it is, like let it grow and harvest and whatever. So currently it's some sort of squash. I think it's probably zucchini. Could be a pumpkin. I'm guessing zucchini though. So, because we've had a lot more zucchini in the past kind of few months because pumpkins aren't, in season. In the spring or squashes, I think it's mainly zucchini we've been eating. So I finally took some chicken wire and put it on top of that so that the wildlife doesn't eat. So what happens in the past is things will grow out of our compost, but before they are becoming vegetables, something, the deer, whatever, will come along and eat it. So I'm trying to cover it up so that eventually we can have some vegetables that we're growing out of our compost. So that may come sooner rather than later because it looks like they're getting close to being something. And I don't know why. I'm really excited to just have something come out of nothing in that compost pile. So that's the update with that. And then, the other update is we have our lettuce grow up and going. And if you are in a situation where you don't have a lot of space to do things like, the chickens and bees and goats, the lettuce grow is an excellent place to start. We have it on our patio. You really don't need green space. We have to have it up high. Otherwise, the deer will come along and eat it. And once you figure out the system and how to keep it up and going, it's such a great way to always have fresh greens on hand. And the boys will, I kid you not, just like go by and snack on lettuce all day long because they always think they're like getting away with something. They're like, look at me, I'm eating lettuce. So it's super cute, but they love eating lettuce throughout the day and will go and harvest it. And it makes them a lot more enthusiastic about the salads that we're eating. So that's been a great way to always have fresh greens. You can grow any vegetable in the lettuce grow. I found that the salads and greens like kale and Swiss chard are really what I do. I feel like it's the best use of that system. I will link, I think I have a discount code for the lettuce grow, so I will link that in the show notes if you're interested in looking into that. Okay, well, that's the little Schaaf Homestead update that I have for today. I will be back again next Monday with another episode.